Hello, America. Welcome to Angel and Wiz. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Jury.
While I might also have something I would like to say, just for myself, politically, it appears that Miss Angel has an issue that she would like to bring up with us at this time. Miss Angel,
I do?
The floor is yours. You said you wanted to go first.
I thought we'd introduce it a little bit different than that.
Oh, no, I'm introducing you. You can introduce
So-
the event, the thing.
So the event that happened, as we all know, on Sunday, May 1st, or early morning. I think
you
it's
mean
Sunday,
the
May 1st.
jailbreak?
You said I get to go first?
Go.
Was that Mr. Osama bin Laden was announced dead
Right.
by President Obama. I didn't watch that. I was in a movie at the time.
Atta girl.
And then I come out and I saw in the news, and the people in the theater were like, "Oh, you know," because the TV's on. And I looked and I looked at the person I was in the movies with, and I said, "Are you serious? They're just now announcing that?" And he says, "What do you mean they're just now announcing it?" And I was like, "That guy's been dead for years."
Okay.
And he's, you know, then that started. So I'm telling you, I swear, he's been dead for years. And let me tell you why.
Go.
Number one, you mean to tell me we've got the best technology floating around our Earth? We can find people buried underneath hundreds of thousands of pounds of earthquake rubble. We can't find a single man in the mountains for 10 years.
Okay.
I don't buy it. Number two, if he was announced dead a couple years after this whole thing started, he would have been considered a martyr, which is not good. He's already going to be somewhat, but I think since we started in the Afghanistan front, that he the influence that Osama bin Laden has had on Al Qaeda has diminished over the last 10 years. It's kind of fizzled out. So I think that they had to announce his death because of a couple reasons. One, something else is about to happen in the Middle East that we don't know about, that we, you know, that's not our culture or whatever. I think something else is going to go on that it is pertinent for that to be announced that he's dead.
Right.
Or something similar to the WikiLeaks. Somebody from somewhere realized that, you know, this information has been withheld, so, you know, they're gonna...
It could come out.
Yeah, it could come out. So the government said, well, we'll just announce it first and get the glory of it instead of the scandal side.
I mean, like, try to get votes.
No, I don't think it's about votes. Because according to my theory,
Yes, ma'am.
if he's been dead for years,
Right.
why wouldn't have Bush announced it? Unless it was a major security reason.
Well, listen.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, you know, yeah, maybe the timing's a little bit fishy,
Right.
but Bush had the same directive. We want him captured, dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to telling me from the time that was sent out and Bush said it 10 years ago to now, we couldn't find him and create a decent plan of attack? That's a little ridiculous for me.
Now. No, I want you to finish.
I also don't. I don't think it's about. You know, there's always politics involved.
Right.
But I don't think President Obama said, "Well, you know, let's do it." I don't think that was his reasoning, because he could, you know, because there's the same questions go, "Oh, he did it because it was a political thing." No, I don't think so, because Bush would have used it as a political thing if it could have been announced, which is why I think that there was something that was preventing it, because I still believe there's no way that we could have killed that man a couple days, you know, a week ago. He had to have been dead for years.
Well, let's travel down this road, too.
Travel down the road.
Because considering that the only thing Obama ever thinks about is getting elected again, no matter what he says to you out here in the real world, let's take
Has
another
he said that
look.
to you personally?
No, he hasn't called.
So-
he has my phone number. Like Beck, he doesn't call. You know,
Okay.
Just, no.
So how would you know that that's all he says?
I
or
can
think
listen to
about?
him when he talks. I pay attention to him. I don't really. But
I
I
didn't think you
read
did.
what he said. I couldn't stand listening to him. But listen,
Okay.
you're going to be surprised.
Surprising.
Because
Wait. Are you going to get on a Republican soapbox?
later.
Okay.
No, because see, I did work on John Kennedy's murder many, many years ago, so I'm not surprised at all about conspiracies or the things that go on.
But mine's pretty valid.
Because
someone who doesn't
yes,
gotta say that I thought it through. I thought it through.
Yes. Now let me help you with
Okay.
your thoughts to show you why you could be very right, even if there's
Oh
a
wait,
slight.
you said I was right.
Yes, you
Cool.
might very well be right.
Yes.
Now, but you might
Okay.
be right in a different way.
Okay.
In the sense that I would suggest to you that there is another two possibilities, and they also explain why now.
Mm-hmm.
First one is this. Let's just say that the reason Bush didn't want him dead was because he was afraid that everybody would then say, let's stop fighting. You got Obama, it's over.
Osama.
Excuse me. You got Osama, and now we got to stop fighting. And so then he would have had to, just like they are doing, like
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're saying that right now. So he could have had a motivation for not declaring him dead, okay,
Mm-hmm.
at that time,
Which should make sense because
because it would make him stop the war, and he
right,
didn't want to.
and Bush didn't want to stop
He
the
didn't
war.
want to stop the war. Now,
And I
when
think after a while he just didn't care about stopping the war because he was leaving.
well, I'm not going to go there on this particular. Okay, now here comes Obama in office.
Okay.
And let's take another tack. Remember when I made the comment about it being a jailbreak?
Yeah, and I was like,
the
jailbreak
okay,
from what?
right,
I don't
right,
get
right.
that.
But hear me out. One of the generals that was interviewed on TV said, "But what if Obama wasn't in his home? What if he was in a gilded cage? And if you take a look at where he was, there was a whole lot of barbed wire and a whole lot of security and a whole lot of other stuff. So what about this? What if they got him and they put him on ice? He's been in the same place since 2005. Nobody wanted to kill him, so they just caught him and prevented him from doing anything. They had him locked up in his little mansion. You got to realize where he was caught. He was caught across the street from the from their intelligence agency. Down the road was their West Point. I mean, he was living in an armed camp. The Pakistani army was surrounding him. So my observation was, he wasn't living there, baby. He was a prisoner there. So that's why I even posted this. Is there any chance that, for whatever reason, maybe your WikiLeaks reason or whatever, Obama double-crossed the Pakistanis and went in and killed them so he could take credit for killing? Because Obama, just hear me out, Obama wants to end the wars. And if Osama's not out there anymore, it makes his position stronger. Plus, he comes off as this guy that can actually make a decision and stuff like that. He cares about the national security. So, I mean, that would explain two things. That would explain why Pakistan wasn't notified, why they got caught off guard, because they knew if they told them, they'd move them. They didn't want anybody but us to know, because they were coming in to kill him. They weren't trying to capture him. They wanted him dead for a reason back to where you were before. Whether it's WikiLeaks or something else, maybe the Pakistani ISI, that's their intelligence service, was making sounds like to Obama, well, you guys better keep doing. Remember, we've been paying them $3.4 billion a year for years now. Well, maybe that was to keep him on ice and keep quiet about it. Maybe somebody was up in the ante and they just said, well, we're gonna just take care of this. So I mean, to me, it stinks too. Okay?
Yeah, there's something funny about it.
Absolutely, it's absolutely and totally stinks. And that's why I think it was a jailbreak. Actually, I think it was a hit.
Well, yeah. And they're not releasing any photos. They bury him in the ocean. You know, like, there's just something funny about the whole situation. Now, let me tell you, I'm glad he's dead. Like, you know.
But he's been out of operational control for so long, like you said, right? He died down.
Right.
He was no longer important. And I could believe he was dead for 10 years.
Right, which is why I think that even if he's been dead for years, that it's safe for it to be announced, because I'll be honest, I heard it on the news and then I just kind of rolled my eyes and was like, whatever, he's been dead for a while, and I just kind of dropped it. I didn't go on. I haven't really watched the news. I don't have time to watch the news and watch what gets, Right. But I think that whatever is going to happen next in the Middle East and that whole, I think part of it is the riots and the political unrest that's been in northern Africa as well has definitely hindered some of the Al-Qaeda movement.
Well,
making them a less effective and efficient organization than what they used to be.
Now see, and here, there's a movie.
And the person that wants to replace that people are suspecting to replace Osama as the leadership,
right.
Nobody in Al-Qaeda really likes anyway.
Well,
like he's second in command, but nobody likes him.
Right, now see, I
got that out of Time magazine.
Okay, there's a source. Okay.
There's a special report, I flipped through it.
I answer. Now, let me throw a thought at you.
Okay.
Because there was a report. I would have believed that Osama was dead. Okay? And that Bush didn't announce it for the reason we spoke about, because he didn't want it to hinder the war. And I could still believe that he was dead, and that this whole thing that Obama cooked up was just a show, so they could announce that he's dead.
I think that it was.
I mean, and now that's why there's no pictures. That's why the body's gone.
I think it's a I know. I'm pretty sure it's a show of some sort.
And it's what it is still deception.
Yeah, there is a deception, and I think that in some aspects the deception is necessary. If he was killed years ago, you don't want that martyr out there. You don't want the public to know that, because that's all that would do. If you think about it, if he was killed September, in 2002 or 2003,
right.
Al-Qaeda would have martyred him. He would have been Saint Osama by now,
right.
or whatever that is.
Right.
And they would have been more aggressive towards us.
Now, and yet you have another problem too, because if he wasn't dead, although I think now see, the reason it would go with that is because it would explain a lot about why we're not seeing the pictures, why the body was gotten rid of. That was totally uncool to do that, and totally irresponsible.
Give me proof. Give me his head on a plate or something.
They're hiding something. That's what I started to say. There's a movie called The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. And in this movie, they're underground in a subway. They've taken a subway car, and they're having a ransom. And at one point, there's a line that Walter Matthau says that basically, if you boil it down, what it comes to is they only know what we tell them. They're in a hole in the ground. They don't know anything. Well, that's us, kids. We only know what they tell us.
And I think sometimes that's good.
I
think that the news media and the American public has the right to know everything about going on in the government. Yes and no. When it comes to our safety and security, I think that it's,
Oh, there's certain things
we should have, but we also shouldn't be saying, here's our weakest areas. You know what I mean?
Not.
Like, and I think that sometimes the news media, no matter what your view is and how we look at it, they really go a little crazy about it.
Well, believe me,
public has a right to know.
Yeah, but they only say that when it's something that they want to expose. They don't say that if it's something that they, I might have said this before at other occasions. If it hurts Obama, they ain't interested. If it helps Obama, they want to know every bit of it. And I think this, and it's funny too, because the story has been so convoluted and so screwed up. They've had like 30 different versions of what happened since it happened. What they've done is they've taken something that they could have gotten a bump from and turned it into a disaster again. Everything this guy touches. And just it's funny, this is down here too. He has a habit of surrendering before he fights. He said he was going to have a surge in Afghanistan.
Are we talking about Obama?
Yes, Obama, okay. Just for a second. But this is how he handles everything. But yeah, the segue was because of the way it was handled. Okay, but I do not disagree with you.